Hello, my dear friends. Today we're going to discuss one of the most popular, probably, book of the author Soji Shimada. It's a Japanese author and astrologist, and if you might hear about this author, please let me know. Have you ever written something from his repertoire? So, the book is called The Doubleganger from the Lunar Dump. If you ever heard about this book, please let me know because I just knew and read this book nearly. So, it was just in a case because I was walking and I was going to the library, and the woman in the library, she said that it's a new book, but actually it had been written in 1988. So the book is actually, the plot of the book is pretty similar to the movie. If you ever heard The Crown, with the son of Bruce Lee, who died during the shooting this film, sadly, tragically. So the plot is pretty similar, I would say, because it's about revenge, it's about love, it's about friendship, and at the same time, the main difference is that the main character, the young guy, he wants to remember what he done before and what had been his previous life. So actually, he just lost his memory after he blacked out, and he find himself on the streets of Tokyo. So then he walking to the nearest bar, and then he saw the woman. He's seeing the woman. It's a young girl. She's about 19, and she's trying to protect herself from her boyfriend. So he helping her, and then they are going to the nearest coffee, meeting each other, and she just realized and find out that actually this guy, he's just not able to remember anything from his previous life. So then she just reacting like, okay, so what we gonna do now? And they're going to her house just to stay in for one night. And then after this, they both realizing that they actually like each other, so they decided to live together and move in, and then they just going to another prefecture of Tokyo, in Japan, and started to live together. They just starting to creating their own life in spite of that age differences, about 7 years. But nevertheless, they perfectly find each other a good lovers because they're both young, and the only thing that he is afraid of, that he has a family in his previous life, like his wife, his daughter or son, a baby, and what if he just couldn't hold it basically. So he just needs to tell his wife that he has a new family, a new girl, and how to do this because he had no documents, no money, actually no even a memory of what have been before all of those events. So he's trying to find out where he had been living and what he had been doing. Maybe he was a salary man, typically worker, but nothing just pops out in his head. So then he just realized that soon they need some money to live, and he finding a job, some ordinary job in the factory, and of course, it's not for the shape of his heart. He's trying to find something in another, but in the same time, his employee, his boss, trying to convince him that it's the perfect job for him, and he's trying to force him to drink with him in a bar, and he just realized that this life is not actually for him. But after a few shots, when his boss trying to fight with him and not protect, but he's trying to find out who is a real man here. he realized, the main character, that in spite that he doesn't really remember anything about his life, he before had been fighting with somebody, because he knows how to fight. He knows how to fight, how to even play the guitar. He knows some music, and he can sing. So then, after all of this, he's going to some suspicious house and finding some astrologist. It's Mitari. His name is Mitari, and this is a young man, 26, who also is kind of really unsocial, and in the same time eccentric and pathetic, I would say. So in spite of that, they both really belong to each other and really easily find the common language between each other. So this guy astrologist, Mitari, he's trying to find out what is his birthday, to look at his fate and tell something about his previous life. So it was not really successful in the end, but the main character is finding the documents in the pocket of his new girl. So he's finding out who is he and where he's living, so he's going to that place, and because he's too afraid of his life, he's going back to the new girl, but she's trying to act really strange. He's actually getting addicted to the alcohol, and he's acting himself like a prostitute because he's sleeping with other guys, and she's trying to attract his attention, or she's trying to make him leave her, I don't know. So after he's finding out that she had been raped by some random bikers, he's just he don't know how to do what's to do next and how to react in these events. But in the end, they're going to their home, and those passions, they are a little bit calmed down. So he decided to came back at the end at his real place of living, and he's finding out from new hosts that previously in this flat lived a woman with her baby, a newborn baby, and they both died. And he realized that he was the husband of this family, of his wife and the father of his daughter. So that's why was the reason why he lost his memory. It was like the trigger, a really psycho trigger that just blocked all of the memory, because it was so bad emotionally, and it was such a tragedy in his life that he just couldn't hold it, and he decided to somehow forget about this. But he's finding out the diary of his wife in the refrigerator under the box with cucumbers. So nevertheless, in spite of lose pain, he decided to read all of the notes to realize why she decided to committed suicide, because that was what the police said, and they decided not to investigate this case further. But when he read all of the notes, he actually realized that it wasn't even close to committing suicide. It was a real murder, and the guy who did that, there were several of them. They raped her before and took all of her money, and it was a big and a huge crime. So they both killed his wife and his daughter, and they just make it all like it was fake it, like it was suicide. So he decided, of course, to, after he realized what happened, to make a revenge and to kill these guys, even though it will cost him a life or anything. So he decided to finding out where those men are living, and he decided to follow them. So that was the first part of the book, and the second I haven't read yet, sorry. So it was just the introduction, let's say that, to your journey of reading. And if you're really exciting of my story, of how I describe it to you, of this story, so please read it and share with your opinion. Maybe it will be a good story to to discuss and to read in the evening or in the day. But for too emotionally people, I wouldn't recommend to read it. Nevertheless, if you like the detective story, if you like detective stories, and if you like Japanese culture and Japanese style of writing, so that's my recommendation to you. And I think that's all for today. Thank you for attention. Thank you for listening to my podcast, and I want to make it regularly. I want to do more podcasts for you. If you like to, and if you support the city, if you like to listen about some books, introductions and some books, stories. So yeah, that's for you. And yeah, have a good evening. Please share your favorite books, your favorite stories, would you like to read, and let's discuss it further. I was really glad to be with you. I'm Elizabeth, and yeah, thank you for listening.